I thought it was a good idea is that I don't feel like educators are offered opportunities enough for reflection on their practice and their strategies and just their profession, but also we aren't given feedback in informal ways very often. So I know that, so ideally that is happening more frequently, but the reality is that everybody in the building is super busy. I think everybody needs to improve, that we all need to progress, but we aren't given an ample opportunity during our actual workday, which I think needs to change. With Joanna, she was just overwhelmingly showed me what I was doing well in the classroom. And, I never thought about that I was doing anything that was so great in my teaching practice, but she helped me to see, and also the videos helped me to see the students actually light up, which is harder in the moment. Like, you sometimes can focus on the details, but you don't always see the overall effect. So having those outside eyes that aren't, that don't know the students, was really useful, because like the class that was being observed for this whole project is a class that includes a lot of students actually who tend to underperform at what they could be doing, and they're not always focused. But I kind of learned how to work with them to get them to see, like, hey, look, you have stuff to give. And she showed me that I was doing that even when I wasn't realizing it. A lot of us place reflecting as more bottom tier because it's not valued overall. Like people say it's valued, but there's no space given. And so giving that space through this coaching was really useful. And I think Joanna and just the program in general, focusing on the positive, really helps to build confidence, but also to show that, like, look, your work, we see you. And I think that teachers, I know myself, like, I don't really feel seen most of the time. Like, I get a lot, I do get some positive feedback from parents and students, but in my building, like, I get my stuff done, so no one pays attention to me. Being shown that you are noticed and that your work is good, I think a lot of people need that, because we're in our classroom so much, we do sort of feel like we're in this bubble, and it can be hard. Honestly, I think the biggest impact is in how I have felt in the classroom. And so I find that second semester in particular can get really challenging. Like, you start to feel worn out and just very tired. And then my attitude starts to get more negative, and just like, how can I keep going? And, but it's kept me more interested and impassioned and like more energized. And I think that was really important for me this year in particular, because I had so much that was taking away from my resources. And I think this goes back to, like, I think we need more reflection on teaching practice. I think we need more time with colleagues to go over, like, what we're teaching, how we're teaching, because without that, like, you start to lose the spark. I would say just be open-minded. So, I'm definitely not a new teacher. I taught at Maryland for 7 years, and I've taught in public schools for 7 years. But I'm constantly evolving my practice and constantly trying to change how I teach. And so if you're open-minded, and I feel like anybody considering this would be open-minded, but if you're open-minded to different possibilities, then that might spark something within you to make you love your job again, or to help you to engage your students better. Like, being open-minded to different methodologies, I think, is really useful. But also, if you're willing to, like, I was definitely a little nervous going in, because you never know what people are going to say about your practice.
Sure, yeah.
But I will say, like, Joanna, she was so positive. She's like, I'm not even sure I can find, she's like, I'm not even sure I can tell you where I would tell you to improve. And so, that was really useful to hear too, because if you just, like, teachers are often feeling like they're not doing a good job because they hear so much negativity.
Yeah.
And so, like, if you need to feel affirmation, if you need to feel confirmation that you are doing the good work, that working with these students is more than just, you know, delivering content, because I think we hear from administrators, it's all about content. And, you know, Joanna was really focused also on like the relationship that I have with my students. And that we know that's important, but not everyone talks about it. And so I think those things are really important. And it's nice to be able to see through someone else's eyes that you are doing a great job and that you're worthy. And we don't hear that enough. Nobody does.